Hello everybody, Glitch Ripper here. I'm back for some more Lycanites equipment combos, and I'm kind of in the process of rebuilding my display area because of that world wasn't able to handle it. But as you can see, I've got some progress in. I'm going to have to restock my parts, and special news due to remodel. One of them has been remodeled, and also there's a new part. So I'm going to go over that in future episodes of the series. Partially because they're not relevant right now, but it's more when I get back into doing some axes, so yeah. Anyhow, this one has to do with a more important part of an update. You see now, there's a new ranged attack associated with one of the parts, and so I just had to demonstrate that particularly well and do a tribute to the new component. So if you're wondering what's up with this particularly cool piece of equipment here, yeah, I'm going to show you. Also, I decided to make sure to display the crafting recipes for the equipment forges. So again, remember that to get your lesser one, you will need a crafting table and a wooden axe. To get your greater one, you will need the lesser one and a block of iron. And to get the master forge, which is the only one you'll ever really need, you need to have the greater one and a block of diamond. So that's how you get the forges, so you can put stuff together. As usual, I will go over where to get the parts, and kind of as I was trying to do before, kind of show what it looks like in the various displays here. So we got some in the display stands from Evilcraft over here, ground and wall. Got one in an oak case from Bibliocraft, one on an oak shelf from Bibliocraft, one on an oak table, one in a item frame, an item frame, displaying the name. I'm calling this one Gatling's Boar, and it'll be a lot more obvious why after a little while. We have some in the various pedestals from Thaumcraft, and a couple in the altar of Abyssalcraft. I've even got one kind of just here in advance in a crystal chest, because of that funny way it displays them. So I just had to go with that. But yeah, this is an awesome new weapon design for this particular update. It's Lycanites mobs, and again, coolest part, yeah, that. So hence why I'm calling it something relating to Mr. Gatling. So, yeah. Now, to be able to create this wonderful weapon and to see what all it can do... Oh, there's another thing I'm going to have to kind of show off here. And it has to do with kind of something with the parts I didn't entirely get to go over before. But, yeah. So, I'll get to that in just a few seconds here. But first of all, you may notice, well actually it's also on this part, so I can go ahead. You may notice something saying sweep here. Well, that's kind of a contribution overall to creating your sweeps like you do normally with swords. So that's kind of something he's found a way to do a variable amount of per part. And so that means that some of the ones with the greater sweeps that go past 180 mean that they're not just doing a sweep in front of you, they can also do the sweep around you completely. So I think it was Clink Sights that give you the 360 sweep. I'd have to find that again because I'm still restocking my parts. But for now, I'll go over the parts and how to get them and why they're all important. Remember, I try to go off level 3 parts as they're the best and they often get the additional bonus features. And you can replace your parts over time to be able to build up to them. So you can kind of swap out whenever you get the upgraded version. Now, the higher level parts and the lower ones are ironically a bit rarer than the one in between, so you'll probably be finding level 2s more often. So just a statement about that. In the future, you will be able to build up from lesser parts to greater ones, but right now I don't think that's true. Although I could try giving a shot in the anvil, but I don't think it's going to happen. Because that's just kind of the plan. But for now, let's go over these. First of all, you'll be needing a base part, as usual. So this is a Spectre Tendril. You'll be finding Spectres heavily associated with the Void. This includes the Ether if you've got the mod installed, but in normal Minecraft, you'll be looking for the End. Now, Spectres will have a few tricks up their sleeve, but if you can best them, you will be able to get this wonderful base part. It adds the decay status, which makes it harder for your enemy to heal. So this is where this gets particularly nasty. Now, as all base parts do, it adds a head slot, and that's very important. And it also means that you've got a 5% chance on this level 3 part here of summoning a Spectre to aid you in battle. So after you've already seen what they fight like, you'll be going, yeah, I want that on my side. Although it's kind of a rare event, so it's very unlikely it'll happen during this particular episode because, let's face it, I haven't had good luck with that yet. Okay, moving forward. Again, remember, really prefer fighting them at range because of what they do. So, heads up. Now, because you'll be needing a head part to go with this, and one specifically because of this one wonderful feature, you'll need an Astra Claw. Again, they show up in a couple different areas. But in this case, it's kind of interesting, because they're more dimensional mobs. You'll find them in the Nether, but you'll also find them in the End. So that means if you go to the End, you'll find both Spectres and Astaroths to collect parts from. And there's a special variant of the Astaroth in the End, and it's a lot more intense. So, yeah, good luck with that. They will Gatling you just like how the part itself works. So, heads up on that too. It has a better sweep angle than the Spectre tendril itself. I think that contributes overall, but so far he hasn't got like all the traits to display on the completed equipment. I don't know if he's going to do that or not, so might be just something to keep track of. But the other reasons for needing the Astaroth Claw, other than the extreme Gatling ability, is that it also adds Wither if you strike with it in melee. So you can really kind of wear your enemy down, and combined with the Spectre tendril, that means that they're going to have a very bad day. Now, also note this does add a pike slot. I was kind of debating originally whether or not to go with certain parts, and I kind of decided eventually to go with Geonox Spear. Now, you'll find Geonox whenever you're mining fairly often, and on occasion they'll drop the spear. They can also alternately drop their fist, but right now you're wanting the spear because it adds the pike, and that's the slot that the Astaroth Claw goes with. So you have to go with this, or, well, this is just a specific design. I mean, you could also go with something different, and you'll still get the shooting ability, but then you won't get some of the other effects the Geonox Spear adds. For one thing, it has decent knockback, and on a pike that means you can kind of keep resetting the enemy's distance so that you can keep them at your basic spear range. And it also has the ability to do a small amount of sweeping, but also note it deals a considerable amount of damage, so, and that all adds up, so it's going to be intense. Now, the other effects is that it adds resistance to you sometimes on impact with the enemy. So whenever you're striking them, you might get tougher in combat. And this is in melee range only, so it's not going to apply whenever you shoot them. It does harvest as a pickaxe, and it does kind of a long line. And this is where it gets really awesome, because this means that not only do you have a Gatling attack, but you can also mine in a straight line really fast. And that's where I decided to kind of combine this all together. Is that way it's a multi-purpose tool when mining, and also can help you smash the enemy back pretty effectively. So if you get a Geonox after you've already got this put together, you'll be able to hit them extra hard too, and possibly get more for future weapons. So this will kind of help your opportunities. Again, remember, they'll just show up in mining, whether you're hunting for them or not, so just think about that. Now it's time to fully assemble the weapon and give it a demonstration. First off, the only glowing slot we have available is the base, and to that we'll add our Spectre tendril. Now we have the head part lit up, as always happens with the base. And now I've got the Astaroth Claw, so the Gatling portion is ready. And now I'm adding the Geonox Spear to the new lit up pike slot. And this means that I now have the fully assembled Gatling's bore. And bore is in something that bores a hole through something. And it'll be very, very apparent why. So, yeah. Gatling's bore. So now, I have a pair of them. So, remember, it shoots like crazy. And I'm trying to think of a good opponent for this, but I also want to demonstrate its ability to mine. And again, it mines in a long line, like a very long line. So I'm going to... Oh. Hey look, something presented itself. I wasn't intending on using this specifically, but... Okay. I mean, I could go with this. I mean, why not? Now, I do want an opponent to smash, though. Are any of those alphas by any chance? 'Cause alphas will fight back. No? Not specifically? Okay, fair enough. Never mind. Okay. Now, happens... I think I do have a good idea of a good opponent to demonstrate this with. I'm gonna go with an evoker. And for a very particular reason. You can close in with melee, but their summons are very annoying. So, let's do the old game mode. And here we go. Oh, I apparently need some food. That could be a slight problem. Well, anything in here that I can munch? I wouldn't exactly call that the best food. Bread, please. Bread. No bread. It's got good stuff, but not bread. Thanks for fire. I'm getting a lot. Like, oh, here's some bread. Thank you. I was wondering about that. I just needed some bread. See, this is what happens when you start up a new world, is you kind of forget that you needed to have some nibbles. What's that thingy, Bob? Cypress sapling. Nice. Thanks, Bewitchment. Okay. Sorry to have to smash this, but it's all in the name of demonstrations. Yeah. See, it smashes a pretty long line, so you can take out fences like there's no problem at all. And also remember that with most Lycanites equipment, you can also hold Snake and only strike a single block, and it will also try to be selective. Although apparently those are all counted as stone brick, even though they're variants, so I'm not sure if that's... Because usually whenever I smash stone, it doesn't hit the ore, and vice versa. So I think he might need to tweak that. Just slightly. That's okay. Well, I found a slight, not exactly a bug, I'd call it more of an oversight. Okay, never mind. Anyhow, it's time to go with fighting an evoker. Go ahead, summon your guys. I'll gun them all down. They don't have much health. Ouch. Special note, these guys are technically elites. I'll chase you down. Goodbye. Okay, where's your other guys? I'll shoot you all. Okay, maybe you do give them wither status whenever you shoot them. That's good to know. The Devil Star shots can wither your target. Or maybe that's just their usual hunger. Oh no, it's the other effects from all sorts of things simultaneously around here. This is what happens whenever you're in a world with a ton of special effects. Including a little nymph trying to heal everybody, including the enemy. That complicated things just slightly. Okay, time to munch. One thing you might not know is you can actually eat parts from from Bobbly Heart canisters, like you used to hearts from Tinker's Construct to just heal a lot. So, there's that. Either way, I hope you like this demonstration, because personally, I think I came up with an interesting combo. The ability to shoot like crazy, mine like crazy, and for that matter, it comes as a good... Is that a hippocampus? That is hippocampus. Okay. And for that matter, it comes in pretty handy in melee if you're desperate. So, this has been the rather awesome combo of... Apparently there was an Ica underneath me, so ignore that. Anyhow, this has been the awesome combo of Gatling's bore. As in, shoot it like a Gatling and bore a hole through the world if you need to. Okay, anyhow, this has been Glitch Reaper, and I hope to hear from you all later. So, bye for now, everybody.